Now, here's Wendy.
Thank you, studio audience, my co-host. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, I feel on top of my game. I've got to tell you something. I watched TV last night. We've got a great show. Did you guys see the premiere of The Voice last night? Okay. Have you been following the drama with Heidi Klum and Seal? Let's talk about that and more. It's time for Juicy Hot Topics. No, yay for you. Yay for you. Have a seat, guys. Welcome to the show. Listen, so, as you know, Fashion Week is going on here in New York, and last night I got home a little bit later than I wanted to, considering we haven't even completed a full week of school and we gotta stay on top of these kids, right? So I trusted him to do his own homework, little Kev. When I got home, he was done. I was out until about 8:30 at night because I hosted a fashion show at Lincoln Center last night. And no, I didn't walk in the fashion show because, as we all know, I've got 2 left feet and not knees. However, the fashion show was something really near and dear to me. It was the Strut fashionable fashion show. And it's all about moms and working moms. And that moms, after we have our kids, some of us, we still want to be fashionable and sexy. We're not dead just because we have children. And so it was really fun. It was mothers and fashion, and it was all good. So when I got home, it was like 8:30, and he had already done his homework. I was so glad with that, but he didn't take a shower yet, but he was about to. And so I turned on The Voice because, you know, they're back with season 3. Last night was the big opener, and it was all about the auditions. Well, I must tell you, this was the first of 3 nights, and the show focuses, as you know, on a singer's voice and not their physical appearance. You don't see what they look like or the judges don't see until they spin their chairs around and actually see. So you could have a beautiful voice and look gruesome, or vice versa. I mean, it's a really catch-22 show. Anyway, one of the early favorites for the contest is this girl named Deborah. Well, I have to tell you, Deborah used to sing in her church choir, and then at 18 years old, she came out of the closet, she cut her hair off, and then the church rejected her. I know, in 2012, still doing this. So now look, all this rejection led her to The Voice and to the audition, and that's the hot clip of the day. Let's show it. I love that. That young lady, Deborah, was chosen to be on Christina Aguilera's team, who, by the way, Christina Aguilera, I thought looked really great last night. And that I wanted to do Dancing with the Stars. Quite frankly, you know, I mean, wear all that stuff. It's great. And finally, last night on The Voice, we got a glimpse of CeeLo's new pet co-star, a cockatoo named Lady. Don't adjust the color on your TV. The cockatoo is pink, and you guys can catch up with The Voice tonight. The auditions continue at 8 o'clock on NBC. Yeah. Now, last night, some breaking news really happened. This is what I have like a love-hate affair with Twitter. This is one of those loves because, you know, I follow a lot of celebrities on Twitter, including Simon Cowell, because you never know what they're going to say, and it's going to be great fodder for Hot Topics. So last night, Simon tweeted breaking news coming from this season's American Idol. Now, as you know, he has nothing to do with Idol anymore. Simon wrote down that, just heard Randy is back on Idol, right decision. In other words, you know what? Randy, they didn't clap on their own. They clapped because she clapped. And we're not gonna play that this season. The co-hosts have their own opinions. We don't always have to agree with them, Suzanne. Randy, only about 5 people clapped for you. And then the rest clapped once she clapped. So anyway, look, here's the thing. Randy has been a judge since the beginning of Idol, but now they wanted him to go to the back and just, kind of counsel the kids and freshen up the judges' table out front. Anyway, there's no official confirmation, but my thought is that Simon is right because Simon is on the pulse, you know what I mean? And he tried to scoop Idol before they did their master press release. He got you, Idol. Anyway, but Randy is back at the judges' table joining Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey, as you know, is signed up. I don't know whether you're happy about that. Great picture. She's a reason to watch. Now, the other names being swirled around are Nicki Minaj, which I'm not at liberty to confirm, but all I'm saying, well, she's gonna be there. I mean, that's what I heard. It's not confirmed yet, but you might as well get used to it. No? Okay, we need a poll. All right, listen. If you don't want Nicki, if you do want Nicki there, clap. 8 people? If you don't want Nicki there, clap. Well, that's not confirmed, but the people here have spoken. Look at me. Well, how do you feel about Nicole Kidman's musician husband, Keith Urban? Do you want him there? There was one lady who clapped in the front, and even she was clapping like, I'm just gonna go along with it. I'm just gonna start a movement. Okay, but I think Keith Urban could be a good choice. Now, I don't know what his behavior is like, but I just know that where Keith goes, Nicole goes, and I like Nicole Kidman. And I would like to see her more. Maybe she should be a judge. Anyway, Anyway, but here's the thing about Randy, with all seriousness, he's been there since the beginning of the show, and he's made some pretty good decisions. Randy was the one who single-handedly brought back Jennifer Hudson as the wild card in season 3. And now she's sun in the sky. Anyway, it's time for new blood on the Idol table, and so we'll be watching and judging. Okay. Who's ready for celebrity hookups and breakups? Let's do it. Hit it. Okay. This is the ultimate hookup story. It's Ryan Gosling and Blake Lively from Gossip Girl. Reynolds. Reynolds. Got my Ryans mixed up. Anyway, Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively, they tied the knot over the weekend. I was shocked to hear this. Were you shocked? Yeah, they got married. It's Tuesday. You haven't heard yet? Oh, that's why we're here. Thank you. Look. Okay. Well, let me convey. It was a super secret ceremony in South Carolina. It was a shock to most people. The marriage was on the same site where the film The Notebook was filmed. I know, sweet, right? Only 60 people were there. Guess who one of the guests was? The Red Soul shoe designer, Christian Louboutin. I know. You just don't picture him as one of 60 people in anybody's wedding except for maybe Sarah Jessica Parker. And shout out to all my people in South Carolina, but you just don't picture him in South Carolina, right? Eating pork chops with his fingers and being like the rest of us. Anyway, look. Okay, so he was there, and then this woman right here, you know her. This is Florence Welch from Florence and the Machine. She sang at the wedding. I know. And Blake wore a wedding dress by Marchesa. No word on what the wedding dress looked like. We haven't seen. But these two, the Ryan and the Blake, they met on the set of The Green Lantern. And they've been dating for less than a year. He's 35 and she's 25? Okay. There was a man who didn't want to clap. Sir, stand up and clap. Your outfit is gorge. Oh my gosh. Work. How you doing? Now, if you know anything about Ryan Reynolds, I'll fill you in though. He divorced Scarlett Johansson after a 3-year marriage. Back in 2010, they got divorced. He apparently is the marrying type, which is what a lot of women, this is like what you hope for, the Holy Grail. In the meantime, Blake has dated her Gossip Girl co-star, Penn Badgley. And she's also been linked to Leonardo DiCaprio, which, P.S., I thought that was the one that she'd ride that out and then marry him. And she's also been linked to Ryan Gosling, the other Ryan, which, by the way, ladies, I had a full summer hiatus to really stare at this Ryan Gosling and see if I could see what you see. I now see it. He's really good looking. Yeah, yeah. And I think of Blake Lively as like Carrie from Sex and the City, more of a fashionista with looking for an A-list man than an actress. But my staff doesn't really think that. They think that you are on your way like to an Oscar-winning role once your stint on Gossip Girl is over and you're free to really, spread your wings. I don't know. It doesn't really matter which way, you go. As long as I'm talking about your relationship with him, though, I have to say this, you guys. Please don't call me corny or whatever. We can agree to disagree. I think that 25 is too young for a woman to be getting married. And I'm gonna tell you why in a moment, but first, this brings us to our hot question of the day. Hit it. And the question is, do you think that Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are a match made in celebrity heaven? Yes or no? And you can give me a few lines as to why. I want to hear from you. Just go to my Facebook page and tell me what you think. And then later on in the show, I'm going to share some of the best comments with the studio audience and you. Yeah. And the reason that I think that 25 is too young to get married is because that's what they did back in the old days when women weren't supposed to vote or get an education. Now, a 25-year-old woman in 2012 and beyond has way too many options to settle down and get married. Doesn't mean she's got to, slut around town or anything, but just marriage is really extreme, and I don't see this one going the distance, but good luck to these kids. And now, let's move on to Heidi Klum and the breakup. Okay, first, if you watched this show long enough, this Wendy show, then you know that this was a celebrity couple that I was absolutely floored. We found out about their split in January after a 7-year marriage. They got 4 kids. They renew their vows every year, which, P.S., to me, that's always the tip-off to Trouble in Paradise. That's the only thing I don't go for. I just don't go for that whole renewal of the vows every year. Ooh, what's wrong with you all? Anyway, look. And when we found out about the split, I was so torn over it that I said, you know what? I'm not going to talk about either one of them or this. I am so in denial. I hope they get back together. Well, apparently, after staying quiet about this split since forever, it seems that we might have an answer now. You see, here's Heidi, photographed looks like very cozy, with the bodyguard that worked for the family for 4 years. His name is Martin Kristen, and he's South African. It looks like right there they've been caught, and she's trying to put your hand down. No, you put your hand down, right? Look. TMZ asked Seal about Heidi's new relationship with the security guard who's worked for the family for 4 years. They caught up with him at the airport, and we've got the footage. You've got to listen very closely because his accent is very thick. And if you miss a word, I've got the quote right here. But just listen very closely. Go ahead.
I would have thought Heidi would have showed a little bit more class and at least waited until we separated first before deciding to fornicate with the help, as it were. But I guess you all now have the answer that you've been looking for the past 7 months.
I gotta tell you, okay, if you missed anything, even though he's cool because he brought back the word fornicate, right? Who says that? Anyway, he said, I would have thought that Heidi would have shown a little bit more class and at least waited until we separated before deciding to fornicate with the help, as it were. I guess you all now have the answer you've been looking for the last 7 months. Heidi, this is not looking good for you, girl. Later on, Seal retracted a bit. He said he wasn't implying that Heidi was cheating. P.S. No, I know, no, wait, look, come, look. You know what that was? That was some of his business handlers saying, Seal, you guys got 4 kids and you got a reputation. You might think Heidi was wrong fornicating with the help, but you just can't bash her like that, man. You gotta go back and twist it and say something. So he said he wasn't implying that she was cheating. But you can if you want in your mind. Anyway, now Heidi's responding. Do you want to know what she says? Okay. She says she never looked at another man while with Seal. You don't have to look, do you? Look. Seal's choice of words were unique, and Heidi also says she's used to it, but other people aren't. So I don't know what that means, but I do know one thing. Heidi, it's not looking good for you. But can I just say this? And I'm only talking to the sisterhood, because only the sisterhood understands. Ladies, listen to me. Generally speaking, we don't strike first, men do, but we strike best. Right? Right? When you hear about your girlfriend or some woman having an affair, isn't it usually because her husband or her boyfriend has been out dipping it? Exactly, Seal. Just saying.